welcome everybody to the Gambit Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. Of course, as you can see, we got a full table with a person we haven't seen in a while. So I do got to start with Shadow, sir, and of course, Tafari TV and Show I Got Joe. Fellas, how you doing on this wonderful weekend?
Say my name and I'll appear.
That's my name. You don't get to do that.
I'm back, baby. Oh, it feels good to be back. Miss you guys. And miss being active podcasting and creating content and everything. Had to switch up my schedule and job and body pain, but I'm back and it feels good. And can't wait to get started, man. So let's do it.
Sweet. Tafari, Joe, how's I know we made it to Friday. How you guys feel?
Trying to financially prepare for October.
Oh, Sparking Zero?
Sparking Zero, Sonic X Shadow, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom's in November, though.
Is it?
It's November.
It's in a paycheck window. It's still dangerous territory.
Yeah, feel that.
All of it's dangerous territory. Joe, what about you?
In a similar situation, Star Wars comes out next Friday. Next Friday, I also got to buy a ticket for the Star Trek convention happening in Murfreesboro because that's the big one. Then I got to start saving for all the Lower Deck autographs I'm going to get or photos. If I can just do a group photo, I'm good. If I got to pick and choose for autographs, I know what I'm going for. Other than that, no, that's it. I'm hot. I'm tired. I have water with me.
I can understand the tired part, but it's a good kind of tired. But you know, Zuri keeps us all awake. But anyway, as you can see, guys, we are a little bit older, so we do say choice words. But hey, words do fly. You guys already saw this coming, and of course, if you've known it by the title of this episode, yes, there may be some things that might be shown that might be too intense for younger viewers. So viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. Because the reason why I say that, Gamescom 2024 has wrapped or will be wrapping up soon. Of course, we only watch it for the first day because, you know, Mr. Knightley decides to help us out by showing us gameplay or new games coming out or surprises. Before we get started on the first one, just roundabout quick table. Was Gamescom this year? Was it worth the watch, or could we just have waited?
I'll go first on this one because I watched the whole thing. It was Germany, so they let us know when things were not efficient and things were not liked because there was clapping and then there was dead silence for a lot of things, most notably Gearbox trying to go, hey, we got Borderlands 4 coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear someone changing, clipping their gun to get things moving.
Tafari, Shadow?
I missed the actual show. I will say, overall, from all the trailers I saw or what all got announced, it probably was not a high energy room.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything. I'm here learning everything for the first time. I've been in the shadows for a long time.
Literally, okay. as your name implies. Well, Joe actually did help me out with the transition on this one because yes, at the beginning of Gamescom, Mr. Knightley did sit there and say that Gearbox did have a surprise, and well, this was it. As Joe pointed out, they did announce Borderlands 4 in usual Gearbox fashion.
Okay, that was cool.
Riveting. So yeah, as Joe so eloquently said, when this was shown, of course, this was Gearbox's immediate response to the movie Borderlands and its wonderful, questionable run.
They should have put no actual movie shown in this movie for the movie.
I mean, when I tell you, and again, to Joe's detriment, when I tell you how quickly they hurry up and announced this and ran this trailer, you could have ran a Vine commercial next to this thing, and Vine would have been faster. That's how bad it was.
Man, that auditorium was like so quiet, and they were just like, "That is nice. Move on."
There was no
I
response
guarantee you
to that
the reason
whatsoever.
why. Oh, go ahead, Tavares. Sorry.
I didn't catch the show, so I'm saying there was no good response to that.
There was no response.
And it was German, and not to make fun of the German people, because of course they're very stoic people. But when you don't even get Germans to clap, that's pretty freaking bad.
They're at least the good spirited claps, but this is like, like I said, you could hear like a pin drop.
Right.
They had to move on. So on top of this, I guarantee you, this announcement went so early because this was supposed to be synergized with the movie because they thought the movie was going to do so well.
Yeah.
Guys, the movie just got announced. It's coming to streaming next week.
Damn.
I have never seen, and this is and correct me if I'm wrong on this, for all of us, because I know all of us in here are movie buffs. But when was the last time a movie appeared from theater to streaming inside the same month?
I think even Madam Web had a longer run.
Yeah.
And that was this year.
I want to make sure I look that up.
Okay, we'll rephrase that. Official streaming, because the day after Madam Web came out, they did have the Madam Web 24/7 channel on Twitch.
Oh my god!
And somebody decided that they just like to be in pain. But here's the thing, though. I love Borderlands. I loved every game from its inception, even the Telltale games, even Tales of the Borderlands. The problem is it's the timing. The movie, unfortunately, is not doing very well. As a matter of fact, it's going to probably wind up being a very big loss. The problem is, if you try to announce anything Borderlands tied to it right now, I fear it's not going to do well, because now nobody's going to really pay attention to the game, which is sad, because it's a very solid looter shooter. It really is. Even its DLCs are good. I just wish that Gearbox maybe should have hit their head in the sand for a couple months. That's all I'm saying. But is this going to stop me from playing? No, I still want to give it a fair shot.
I didn't like 3 at all. Like 3 was so boring to me. Like 2 and Tales are probably the best representations of Borderlands.
I've heard 2 was peak, and then 3 is very much a bronze medal of the fandom.
3
I haven't played a single game.
Same.
3 was overkill. I will say that 3 was overkill. 2 was great. 3 was overkill. So 4 at this point now has to be immaculate to save
the
itself.
Original Tiny Tina's Wonderland, the DLC, was good because that actually explored how do you help a child deal with loss and grief.
Mm-hmm.
The standalone Tiny Tina's Wonderland adventure, not that great.
Right. But no, it's just like I said, it's one of those things to where it's gonna have to do great things to save itself. But really quickly, speaking of great things, before we move on to the next trailer, Black Myth Wukong, have it, play it. It is freaking beautiful. It is definitely not. Say what?
I got a question.
Shoot.
Is this a Souls game or is this a God of War game?
Oh, good question.
It is a I'll put it this way. It is not a Souls game. It is, if you want to be honest, if I was going to compare the gameplay thing, it would be God of War Valhalla.
So Monkey War. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm seeing basically Journey to the West, only a little bit more straight from the influence.
Yes.
But still elements of Ashura's Wrath in there, which I
pretty much.
I've heard the comparison to Ashura's Wrath, and I know from watching Maximilian Dude play it, this happens 1,000 or 1,500 years after Journey to the West.
A
And
thousand
now-
years after. Yeah, 1,000
Yeah.
years after. Yeah.
Now Sun Wukong is just like bored and mad with the Jade Palace for like no reason.
But it is beautiful. Oh, it is so. The reason why I say that because I know a lot of people right now are streaming it, which I hate. You couldn't give the game at least a full week before you decide to stream it, and
I see them
spoil it.
streaming. They're not getting very far though. That's the funny part. Everybody I see streaming is like at the same area.
Yeah, and like I said, okay. For all those that haven't played, number one, you highly should. Joe will tell you I have been hounding this thing since it became a concept with Game Science. So I'm loving it. It is not a Souls game. It plays like God of War Valhalla. The story is great so far because I have not beat it. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that was on the fence about Black Myth Wukong. Because again, if you have not read Journey to the West, please read that too. That is a great story. But yeah, Black Myth Wukong, you can't go wrong. But speaking of things you couldn't go wrong, because again, we knew a Street Fighter King of Fighters collaboration was going to happen. We saw a couple of their characters go over, and now because we kind of got spoiled by this because we knew Terry was going to be in Street Fighter. We just wanted to see the gameplay that went along with it, and we actually get that at Gamescom as well.
It's glorious.
Okay.
This is gonna be fun.
Fighter 2 intro.
I'm still on a journey. Go get some. Traveling to new places, experiencing new things, meeting new faces, having good fights. Fight, drink, eat, sleep, repeat. Seriously, it's a good life. I'll pick up the check.
Terry goes for a walk.
Who's in the background? Who can just spot? I can spot Joe, Blueberry, Poison, Duckling.
Hey, come on!
Axel from Guilty Gear. Clean.
Down for one more. Time for
Oh my god, he's got that?
Are you okay? Yeah, baby. Now, where to tomorrow?
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So
Oh,
much to
it is
unpack. The
definitely
most dangerous thing I've seen thus far in this is he has lane hop in this. He has old school Fatal Fury 1 and Fatal Fury 2 lane hop. He does that to Luke. Also, if you're a giant Fatal Fury nerd like I am, his level 3 starts with the old school Fatal Fury, the motion picture start of the giant tornado move he does to geese. Stance and everything. God, I love this thing. They've also shown his character select screen. He's sitting there playing a Neo Geo arcade machine.
Nice. Well, that's why I want to start with you, Joe, because you already said in the group, you already know who your main in Street Fighter 6 is going to be. But this
Finally,
does kind of wrap
other than Manon.
right. This does kind of wrap up year 2. The reason I want to stop here because, as you can see, guys, Mr. Terry will be coming in autumn of this year. So
we have a date.
Oh, we do. Go ahead.
Yes, it's the same day as the Mortal Kombat expansion.
Brains pack.
Yes, and everybody in FCG said, "We're very sorry for your loss in Mortal Kombat, but no one's coming to season 2. Everybody's got to play the Hungry Wolf."
I will.
Is everybody really over Mortal Kombat already?
Mortal Kombat 1 is having a ridiculous amount of problems right now in the FGC.
Really?
Like a lot of problems.
They're about to patch it up very soon just because of stage issues, combinations. Pretty much think of every problem that had with Cyberpunk 2077 basically applied to Mortal Kombat 1 right now.
Jesus.
I'll put it that way. Everything you think that could happen is actually happening with Mortal Kombat 1. But as you can see, guys, so far we know in Bison, Terry, Elena, and Mai, which she'll be coming in winter of next year. But again,
no. Remember, it's Japan.
Oh, right.
Winter so winter 2025 means winter this year into next year.
Keep forgetting that
those
part.
Bison, Terry, Mai, Elena.
Right. Keep forgetting how Japan works, but thank you for that.
It's so annoying. I hate
winter
that
meaning early spring for us, technically?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Technically, yes. Because I keep forgetting how Japan works with their releases. So, yeah, Joe's 100% right. I keep forgetting that part.
Now, that's for me doing anime for so long.
But, yeah, it is definitely going to be fun to play him. I have got to get back into fighting games. But before we get into the next fighting game, Monster Hunter Wilds did actually release their trailer as well. And if you've never played Monster Hunter Wild, Joe, because I know you're heavy into it, anything you want to let the trailer speak for itself, or you want to pretext from what we saw from Gamescom?
Aside from Gamescom having a horrible build at the show itself, everybody agrees the frame rate is god awful there right now. Like they brought a terrible alpha build. I do not, or whatever demo build they're going with. It's like across the board. Even IGN's like, "Hey, we played it. The frame rate's terrible. It is not indicative of the final product."
I almost want to say, did IGN give it high remarks just to be different?
Man,
we all know IGN. I'm just saying, but
it's really hard for me to say, like, because this is going to be such a new. Every Monster Hunter is a new and unique experience, so I can't really tell anybody what's going on outside of, hey, we get focus attacks and we get to bring 2 weapons with us from now on.
Okay, fair.
But for everybody hop on and play because I've been wanting to play Monster Hunter for a long time.
Oh, trust me, you're gonna like this.
My word, is this a Lollabarina floret? We must be near its nest.
Okay, kill it. Fire.
Abraham. All right, let's go. Now's our chance. We go all in. We could do a lot worse for an interim camp.
Once your business here is concluded, you should find shelter. The sands come alive this time of year, like a wild beast bristling with lightning.
From the look of it, that must be this region's apex predator.
Guild permission granted. Begin the hunt.
Understood. tasty.
I'm not gonna lie, it's always the last part that makes me freaking hungry. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's Monster Hunter Wilds, guys. That comes out in 2025. I'm definitely gonna be sold on it. But Tafari, Shadow, what do you guys think?
I don't know if I'll pick it up, but I think it's the most like cinematic reveal I've seen from a Monster Hunter title.
I mean,
Yeah, I keep on well, let me leave that wrong. I started one for Rise and need to go back and lost and never finished it. I need to be more consistent on Monster Hunter games, but every time I do, there's always something else that comes up and my attention goes elsewhere. But I promise on this one on Wilds, I am definitely sticking through it. But Joe, anything more you want to add to that on that side of it, or?
I mean, I need a hunting group. If you all hop on, I can carry you guys. I'm a hunter rank of 217 now.
That just sounds so bad.
okay. I mean, hey,
It
was my first game, so I'll need somebody to help carry me for a while. Sure.
Oh, I'm in the most end game of end game points right now. The game is literally telling me reach master rank 100. I'm master rank 82 at the moment.
Jeez.
Okay, fair enough. But before we do get into the Dying Light trailer, we do have a little bit of news. This just recently released, and quite pleasantly surprised about this one. James Spader's Ultron will be coming back in MCU's Vision spinoff show. For all those who don't remember Age of Ultron, Mr. Blacklist himself did voice the iconic villain, and for a lot of us, we sat there and said that this was not the end of Ultron. Especially since his showing in What If in that story, and because, well, he's Ultron. You're not going to kill him off in one section of the MCU and not bring him back. So, round table, guys, knowing this information, are we happy that we're going to see another round of Ultron, especially with James Spader voicing him, or how do we feel about it?
I mean, it was inevitable. Like, it's freaking Ultron. Ultron does not stay dead.
Pretty much.
Like,
he does not.
You can kill one body, you can send it off into space, you can do whatever you think you can do. Ultron does not stay dead. So this was something that, here we are in the 15th, almost 16th year of the MCU.
Yeah.
And everyone's multiverse this and Loki story gods this and it's dead. It's on. Dude, this villain has been sitting in the background through all of this, just biding his time. Now that begs the question. This is called Vision Quest. It's obviously about Vision, trying to regain, what he was. Is Marvel going to pull the wool over our eyes? Oh, James Spader returning, but it's only like a Vision, like as he's regaining his memories, or like there's like a one-on-one chat with the Ultron bot for one episode, like or are they actually bringing him back as the main villain or the main conflict? That begs the question of what this is going to do. Is it going to be a one-off, or is he back to actually cause problems that will last and add to the current main, stuff that's going on in the MCU right now? That's the question.
Who's to say he's not a voice in Vision's head?
That's true.
Right. He could very much be like DBZ abridged Nail and just
yeah.
We have Minesweeper.
He got a backup of himself on like a 1 gig flash drive and a Commodore 64 somewhere.
He already came back once. He's the primary villain in that Avengers Disney cruise, where Carol, Sam, and Ms. Marvel are the main characters doing new Avengers stuff. So it's like Sam in his white Captain America suit.
Yeah.
Technically, if we're counting games, and he's returned twice, because there was that Damage Control game where you took on like the vibranium Iron Man suit.
Yeah,
and MCU characters, not any other Marvel characters, MCU characters fought a returning Ultron. So technically, this is the third time he's returned, but we haven't really seen any supplemental thing about making those canon. So this is the first time.
True, and also shout out to the man on the wall because he did say, "Didn't we call this?" Yeah, you did.
We all did. Called it.
We all called it because we all sat there and said it would be a shame to waste. It would be a shame to waste such a prominent villain on a single movie. We all sat there and said it. I'm not against it. I think, like I said, I'm with Joe. I think he's going to be more of a prominent voice in his head because, again, the way they crafted Vision. Ultron is a part of him. At the same time, the conversation they did have at Age of Ultron, and of course, he's still got that Ship of Theseus thing going. So
right, which he'll have the same conversation just with either Ultron in his head or plugged into some old off-network LAN computer somewhere.
Right.
But he definitely is probably going to be retracing his steps, which may include the collision of whatever program Tony and Ruffalo made, which then collided with Jarvis and then kind of gave birth to him in the first place.
Pretty much.
That's true. So, do you think? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do you think since they've gotten him back? I mean, James Spader is a pretty big deal. Not Robert Downey Jr. big, but still a pretty big deal. Is this just a one-time thing? Like, is he back for just this show? Or if they do any semblance of Battle World type stuff in Secret Wars, will he be back for that? Will we see a section of Battle World like in the comics where it's just nothing but Ultron?
I think they will make the same mistake. I think that I'll put it this way, because the way they're doing Giancarlo Esposito's Sidewinder character and not making him a one and done, I think they're learning their lesson as far as prominent villains that can carry a series, and they're going to have them in multiple series. So for me, I think Spader is going to be around for a long time, just because, again, Ultron is prominent in every part of the MCU, so why not have him ongoing? I mean, in the same sense, it's just like with any other prominent villain. You don't off a villain that is giving replay value, because let's be honest, if you really think about the category of villains that we got in the MCU so far, if you had to rank the ones you wanted to see again, did you want to see Tom Hiddleston represent his character back as Loki? Do you want to see James Spader come back as Ultron? Do you want to see Christian Bale come back as Gore the God Butcher in a different
probably not that one.
Better animated, actually with makeup.
Right.
But yeah.
But what I'm getting at is, for the ones that have that replay value, that you can tell different stories, it would make sense to keep bringing them back, because those are the ones that are going to basically make your movies. Because again, 90% of most superhero movies are dependent upon a solid villain. Don't believe me? Look at Fast X. Jason Momoa is the only reason I will watch Fast X. That's all I'm saying.
I was going to say the more better Marvel analogy would be the Marvels. The movie's fun, but that villain is, I don't even know her name.
Dar-Ben or something like that. Ben-Dar, something like that.
Dar-Ben. Well, that's what I'm getting at, though. It's like, if you had a different villain, because Captain Marvel's got villains. Why they went with that one? Okay, don't know. I'm not the director. I'm not the writer. But that's the part I'm getting at with Spader in Ultron. Yeah, I mean, the guy has the voice. He can do the monologues, no problem. So why not use him in other parts? Is what I'm getting at. So I'm hoping, and again, they didn't say, because I was trying to do some research on this. They didn't say how long he was signed on, but I have to assume it's for multi-projects. I'd have to assume that. I would
assume at least. What if 3? Mm-hmm. Well, maybe not. What if season 3? Because that's already been recorded.
Mm-hmm.
But most definitely at least a show, and maybe probably something with Wanda and Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we're getting Marvel.
Not good.
We're getting Marvel Gundams in What If season 3. I'm so hyped for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to figure out why 3 is the end. There's literally infinite possibilities.
No, wait.
Yeah.
What they end? That's the last season?
Yeah, they're ending the What If series. I know.
My exact reaction.
That's so stupid.
It is. And
I know there's a guy who's working on rebuilding his What If channel and actually dropping videos in October. So maybe he'll do some more Marvel What Ifs coming soon.
Moscow X, is that the joke?
Oh, you're funny.
You're
funny, Joe. I meant me. I'm working on it. It's me, okay? I'm doing it.
You did kind of open the door on yourself on that one, Shadow.
I know. I walked right into it.
But no. Again, with James Spader being Ultron, I think we can all say that we're all happy to have him back, and hopefully he will get the same monologues that he did in Age of Ultron moving forward. But back to trailers. Dying Light, The Beast. If you're a fan of Dying Light, this is their next one. I thought it was going to be Dying Light 3, but this is actually a throwback to 1 because the character from 1 is the continuation in this story.
The tracks lead this way. He's close. Stay here. Stand guard. On me. Bloody hell. Contact!
Every man has an animal within. If you push too much, you might unleash the beast.
Hey, that beat was going hard. I'm sorry. I was in there vibing.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it. Now, the character in this one, because again, I am a huge fan of Dying Light, although I was hoping for a Dying Light 4, but I guess it's close we're going to get. The main character from 1, they didn't say if he turned. That was the big thing about 1, whether or not he was turned at the end. So, because they're kind of insinuating that either he's turned or he's hunting another animal. In this game, they didn't say 100% with 100% certainty if he was the one that turned or not, but I'm looking forward to playing it. At the same time, you can't help but look at Dying Light and just yell parkour every time you're doing runs and jumps and stuff. But
parkour.
I said, Dying Light, was Crane in Dying Light 2 at all?
Say that one more time.
Was Kyle Crane in Dying Light 2 at all? Because I watched some gameplays, but I know they referenced him, but didn't talk. They mentioned him like once or twice.
He was mentioned, but I don't think he was in it.
Because I know the second one.
He was mentioned in the second one in lower parts, but no.
It's like 20 years after the first, and then the first has the story DLC where your options are, I think you turn or you like nuke the place.
Yeah.
And you not really. I'm guessing we went with the turn ending, or he got control of it, or whatever that was about.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see where it goes from there on that. But I'm definitely down. Joe, Shadow, anything more you want to add to it?
I've never played any of the Dying Light games, so again, there's a lot on my list I would like and love to sit and just play. Mm-hmm. And Dying Light has actually been on the list for a while. So who knows? I might pick this up, or I might go back and try to do the whole series. Who knows? We'll see.
Nice. Okay. Well, the next trailer we have is basically another one for Sonic and Shadow Generations that shows the Doom powers off. Tafari, do you want to explain that one or just let that one run?
I will just let this one run.
Yeah, fair enough.
Something calls to me.
We meet again, Shadow the Hedgehog. Struggle all you want. You cannot deny your fate.
A new power.
Oh.
I am the true ultimate life form.
Okay, so apparently the Eye of Sauron gave prototype powers to Shadow.
That's what I've been saying. It's Shadow meets prototype is what I'm getting, but I'm not mad at it. Also,
No. The Eye of Sauron gave him new powers to win more death battles in the future.
You're all wrong. He just has gained his ultimate edgelord form. Now no one understands him. Not even his...
Is it bad that I want to say Bankai? every time
damn near.
I kind of wanted to say it. I was like,
not even.
It'd be appropriate.
Well,
It'd be
whatever the
appropriate
form,
for that. So.
well, whatever the form was when the Bond guys had to use half hollow powers and they all got like deformed versions. It's like that.
I had to give it credit to that one, but that was the Doom powers for Sonic Shadows Generations, and we have the collector set. Now, when I first saw this, and before we started the podcast, Tafari had pointed this out, and I'm like, is that a Sega Dreamcast with Sonic and Shadow on? I'm like, please don't tell me that's a working one. Well, it's not. It's a collector's item, but still, Sega. Sega, we got to talk. The Dreamcast was ahead of its time. You can always bring it back. That's all I'm saying.
Also, damn you, limited run games, because of all people, why would you choose them to do your distribution? Because this took 2 years to arrive at my damn door, and this was just a port, and not even the version I thought I was gonna get. It's the damn PS2 edition.
Damn.
Of Force Unleashed, and I think they've already said that they're sending the game first, and then you're gonna get the rest of this whenever the hell. So that's already looking.
That sounds uber crappy.
Yeah,
especially with everything that you're getting. A soundtrack, jewel case, figurines, a steel book. The statue is what sells it to me.
I will buy the steel book off somebody, but with limited run games, they usually take they'll bring back classics, or they'll get the physical rights to usually a digital only game, and usually what it is, they'll take orders. They will make as many as they get.
Oh, it's a make to order scenario.
Make to order, and then usually within 4 to 6 months you'll get the game. I got Force Unleashed. I got Star Wars, Republic Commando, TMNT, Mutant Mayhem, and Samurai Jack Battle Through Time are the 4 that I got from them. And recently they had a change of command, which is why Force Unleashed took so damn long to get to my door. I forgot I ordered it 2.5 years later. It showed up.
Jason,
wow!
And people were mad, genuinely pissed. They got one, that it took so long. 2, that they got the dumbed down version for the play. If you ever played the PS2 port or the Wii version is a very different version of the game. And now they're moving more into mainstream media. So now everybody's like, of all companies to handle this big a project, why would you pick them? Because you'll probably get the game in October. You'll get the rest of that shit in like next December.
Damn.
Jeez.
Maybe they got it together. I don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but for those of us who've been burned before, we're just taking the loss in this one.
Oh, it definitely sounds like that. But again, the game looks great. I have to stick with that in my mind. But speaking of things I have to stick with in my mind, that every time I see Batman Arkham Shadow, I like it, but I'm mad that it's on Facebook Meta. Because again, if you have VR, you're looking forward to this. If you don't have VR, well, you're gonna be mad about it.
It has my namesake. This is what I'm giving it.
This rat cult spreads through Gotham like a plague. I have to stop it, even if it consumes me.
The corrupt system has failed you. Are you not angry? Fight back!
It's the freaking bat!
We aren't afraid of you! The bat dies tonight!
Jim, this Rat King could be anywhere. A face in the crowd, a foot soldier in his own fanatical mob. So how in the hell do we find him?
Targets are all city employees, civil servants, public officials.
You could have been more than a symbol. You could have been a god.
Look out!
You done calm down. Someone's going to die.
Alfred, we tried it your way. Now we do it mine.
Something big's going down tonight. We repress our rage, our fears. It feeds the shadow deep inside us.
You're everything that's wrong with Gotham! I'm done holding back! I can bring the Rat King to you.
Okay.
See, this is what I see again. I'm not against whenever a Batman Arkham game comes out. I'm never against it. Arkham Shadow looks like it will be hella fun to play. I don't think it should be played in VR because that's a lot going on in a first person view. But again, if you have the Facebook Meta system, have at it. It comes out 2 months from now. But fellas, is it enough to make you want to try it in VR, or are you just gonna wait for the port?
If they make a port, I'll take it. But otherwise, Let's Players and YouTubers, y'all got it.
Well, considering what we know how this Batman story ends, thanks to a certain game, what's the point? Now, obviously, this is right after Origins, or at least like what, a year or two after Origins, because
this is actually a year after Arkham Knight. No, scratch that. No,
This is an early.
It has to be Origins.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it has to be Origins because you saw Barbara Gordon still walking.
Yeah.
I think Cash still had his hand at some point, and so adding more
voice actors. They got the other voice actor, so this is definitely before Asylum. So this could be a year or two, or it's got to be. If they do more of these, they have to all be early era Batman from now on.
Yeah. Well, Shadow is right. It did come out after Origin, so he's right. This is a year after Origin.
So with the timeline for the Arkham series is over a span of 12 years.
Right.
Starting from the pop of Martha and Thomas to the end. That's not counting Suicide Squad. I haven't seen that added to anybody's timeline. So yeah. But so this happens right after Origins, but right before he teams up with Robin, which in that span of time, I think from Origins to when Robin comes in is only I think it's 2 years after the events of Origins, if I'm going about the timeline correctly. So this has to be that year after Origins, or I mean, honestly, it could honestly be right after. What was the DLC? The Icy Heart or Heat of the Night? So it was something like that.
Yeah, Cold Heart.
Yeah, Cold Heart. Like the timing being right after that. That way, it gives enough time to slide in, not mess with anything with the timeline, and then the rest of the timeline can go smoothly. That makes the most sense to me. Honestly, the story looks cool. Picking the Rat King to be an enemy like that, which is something that could play to the psychological aspects of this universe in the series, but not take away from all the other villains that he's had to deal with.
Makes sense.
I mean, it definitely was a good choice to pick him. I mean, as long as they didn't pick Condiment King, we're okay. So, we're good there. But yeah, I mean, once it ports, I'll give it a try. I'm not the biggest fan of VR games like that, but it's Batman, and it has the word Shadow in it, so I'm all in. It's me.
Yeah, I think it'll be ported, but like you said, it's kind of a long shot on that. But moving around, also did have a trailer at Gamescom, and it's called MechWarrior 5 Clans. I have not seen this, so we're all going to be surprised.
3050 comes.
How much of your humanity are you willing to give to see tyranny fall?
We are Smoke
No.
Willing to tear everything down.
Mm-hmm.
They shall tremble before our might.
I'm live right now. I'm live.
This is the clan way.
I'm trying to think of what vibe I'm getting, and I can't blank. I'm blank.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a lot happening right now.
Okay, this is giving me heavy Armored Core vibes.
That's the game I'm trying to think of. Armored Core.
That's what I grew up playing.
Armored Core with
New target.
Armored Core with Kingdom Hearts 1 gummy ship modification.
Yes.
You guys know this was a cartoon like a while.
Really?
I believe you. I'm just talking about the mechanics. When they showed the 50 blocks that had a college thesis of notes on each one.
So that was MechWarrior 5 Clans. Yeah. I actually haven't played MechWarrior.
I love playing MechWarrior 5 on PlayStation 5.
So
much
I've
fun.
not played any Mech Warrior, but what me and Tapari was saying, I grew up playing Armored Core, and this gave me heavy Armored Core vibes, but with
They look the modifications look like the first gummy ship from the first Kingdom Hearts, which was
that was a lot of work.
A confusing info dump. And
okay, so lore wise, we go out into the stars, we colonize, we split up basically into kingdoms again. We have House Steiner, House Kurita, House Davian, and the Capella Federation. So think Davian, Britain, Japan. We got some other ones down there below. Davian is America. You can be anyone. Basically, they're just one giant political war. But a large military faction just leaves the known galaxy and leaves for hundreds and hundreds of years. And then 3050 rolls around and they roll back in with much more advanced technology.
Oh.
So everyone's got double heat sinks, extended range lasers, full tracking missiles, everything. New mech configurations, double armor plating, faster mechs, stronger mechs. And they are all clan-based, which is why they're called the clans. And the way they do things is like they will bid areas for territory based on the amount of resources, because they've basically done what Thanos did. Like they maximize their utility with minimal resources and higher technology. So they just roll over all the world, all the federations, despite constant political intrigue, constant. We're talking Game of Thrones level political intrigue, but with giant robots as opposed to Hordor.
So they're trying to say this country needs some freedom?
Oh yeah, no, that's what happened. So they kind of, if I send you guys a cartoon link, you will definitely see which one is not quite Germany, which is J Clan Falcon.
Oh my god.
However, like some of them are pretty chill when they come in. Like Smoke Jaguar's like, you can resist us, we're gonna kick your ass. Or we can just integrate with you. And then like some of the other ones come in and are just like, look, here's what we got. Here's what you got. Do you really even want to do this? No? Great. We'll be over here. If you need us, we're over here. But just leave us over here and we'll leave you alone.
Nice.
So this is the invasion. This is the clan invasion. This is like where Battletech gets really goofy with its mechs, because it used to be just like you shoot a few in the tabletop game, shoot a few lasers, shoot a missile, you're overheated. You lose a turn or two. You got to cool down, or you got to like find a way, or use a melee weapon. When the clans come in, I'm shooting lasers for like 18 turns, and I'm not stopping.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Damn. Well, that definitely is going to be interesting. But a few more trailers before we get to our state of wrestling and to our comic pools. This one is a friendship trailer for Little Nightmares 3, which I did not expect them to make a 3, but this one actually looks pretty good.
Peggy 16.
I dig it. That was the trailer for Little Nightmares 3, the friendship trailer, as you can see, comes out in 2025. The artwork on this game has always really impressed me, but I give it a shot. I haven't actually even played Little Nightmares 2, but I'm gonna have to go back and try Spore 3. But what do you guys think?
I'm curious where this is in the timeline because we see the little white hooded guys, meaning it's either around or after the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But then 2 is actually a prequel story, we find out towards the end. So I'm curious where this plays in and if it ties into the last 2, 3, if you count the mobile games at all.
Mm-hmm.
And if we even see the main character from the last 2 games at all. And it seems like we're in going to different terrains because the last couple games we've been in dark, gritty territories. We're going to a carnival and a desert and a bunch of other brighter landscapes now. Also, I don't see freak show people.
I mean, it makes sense. Joe, what do you think?
I've never played any of them.
They're
you should give a first one shot.
Short, but they're a fun run if you ever want to try them.
The closest I ever got, and I don't even think this I guess is kind of equivalent because they have similar art style, but that Lost in Dice game that kind of looks like a Tim Burton horror game.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I cannot pull up a picture in my head right now.
It's getting DLC right now.
I'm with Tafari on that one. I can't put the name to, I know what you're talking about, but I can't put the name to it.
Let me
At least
Google
I
it.
think I know what you're talking about. Because I mean, for what it is, Little Nightmares is definitely fun. I mean, kind of a little bit of a horror aspect on number 3, which I dig because it was always that.
Lost in Random.
Okay, I know that one. I know that one then. But yeah, Little Nightmares is definitely fun. You should definitely give that a shot. But to get to the last 2 guys, again, I'm getting to this one first because apparently this was the surprise at the end of Gamescom night 1. All I can sit there and say is somebody's a Godfather fan.
You come to
This
me.
thing of ours. It's a brotherhood. Treachery and deceit do not exist among us. Do you wish to commit yourself, your life, to this family?
And that's pretty much it. Yes, Mafia is coming out with a new game, Mafia: The Old Country. Right now, it's on a wish list level. If you played any of Mafia games, it's a different type of story to it. I mean, personally, my favorite was Mafia 3, or Mafia 2, and Mafia 3. So this one, going back to the old country, this reminds me of Godfather Part 3 when he went to Italy with his wild nephew. Could it be that? Who knows? Will I give it a shot? Yeah. What do you guys think?
It looks like it's possibly gonna be early era Italian homeland mob stuff, but yeah, I never played any of the ones before, so 3 was my first one. I know you guys like to be historically accurate, just fast travel system for the love of God. That's all I'm asking.
We can only go from vineyard to vineyard. That's how Italians travel.
I mean, vineyard to vineyard, fine, but give me a horse or a goat or something. Like in Mafia 3, I was like, I can't call a cab, but I'm like, Black Men and Jim Crow, probably not. But still, I gotta drive. I gotta drive from place to place to play. Like some of the missions are far, like GTA, don't wreck the car far, and it's like there's no way of skipping past it. And I'm just like, at least let me get this out the way before the clan rally mission. That's what made the whole playthrough fun. But yeah, vineyard to vineyard, let me pay some grapes to get place to place. Mafia does a good job of telling the story. I didn't even know that never played 2, so I didn't even know that Vito was from an earlier game when he showed up.
Yeah.
Vito was kind of like a stand-in for Mike Corleone from Godfather 1.
Pretty much.
So we're not going to just talk about how you just, you know...
He's not wrong.
There.
I mean, he's not wrong, so it's like
it's post-Vietnam Louisiana. What do you want?
Right.
I believe it.
Like literally everyone hates you in the game. Every group and culture you come across outside of your own.
He ain't wrong.
To be fair, Vito doesn't hate him. Vito just respects the game.
Him, Vito, and the other guy who I think they were the Greeks. They
were the Irish.
They were the Irish.
So much worse.
The Italians and the Irish were partnered enough with us to leave us alone. Everyone else they sicked on us was just like.
You only had one other person. That was the Haitians.
Yeah.
No, it was the Haitians, and then Vito and the Italians, and then the Greeks.
No, and the Irish.
Irish.
It just all goes down.
Yeah, you had those three, but like even when they send like I think the Cubans after you, like they're saying like racist shit as you should.
Yeah.
But then I'm just like, you can call guns, you can call hitmen, you can call everything except fast travel in this game.
No, you had fast travel in it. You could only go to like the main HQ though.
Yeah.
I think you could, but like those little areas just like drive all the way out here and steal like a truck.
Oh yeah, God no! Out in the boondocks and the swamps.
Yeah, like if you do that to go back to a main area, there was no travel. You just had to drive or walk.
Oh wow!
I wish that they would integrate into this. They did in LA Noire, and that's where you told your partner to drive.
Oh my! God. Every single time, I did not, unless the mission forced it. I never drove in LA Noire. I absolutely, after so many GTA missions, I despised it.
You just let the partner drive and look around and look at the scenery.
You know, y'all are mentioning some really fun games that have, you know, driving memories and, you know, walk up and shoot somebody. Did y'all ever play the Scarface game?
Yes.
I did not.
I didn't play GTA. I played Scarface.
It was just as bad.
With cheat codes. So I had the fastest car every time I needed to respawn. And man, the amount of chinga tu madres and all this, all through the game, loved it. Great game. Really kind of wish I could play that game again, like just to get the nostalgia hit. Because that was my GTA.
Fair enough. Well, the last trailer we do got, guys, before we get to our State of Wrestling, I wanted to show this one because, you know, when I first saw Dune Awakening being a game, I was, you know, turning it down. However, when I saw this trailer, it changed my mind. You guys check it out.
There is another path for you. Awaken.
You begin as a nameless prisoner. Sculpt your appearance, choose your background, and then crash into the planet. You are abandoned and alone. Hunted by sandworms. Scorched by the unforgiving sun. Ravaged by sunstroke. Stick to the shade. Chase the moving shadows. Survive. Welcome to Arrakis, the most dangerous planet in the universe. Meet hundreds of other players in the vast online world. Befriend or betray those you meet. Form a wary alliance, in this case, a spit dart rifle and a still suit, for your help taking down territorial deserters. Working with others will always increase your chance of staying alive. The Deserter Base. Climb to a vantage point and prepare for violence. Your choice of weapons and abilities determines your strategy. Swordmasters lead the charge into battle, literally. Repel ranged attacks with a shield and then take them out, one by one. Deploy the Hunter-Seeker and kill from the shadows. Take what you can from the fallen. On Arrakis, nothing of value is wasted. Mine, harvest, and gather with your group to build bases and unlock more advanced equipment, like the blood purifier. Refine the blood you collected from your enemies to extract drinkable water. Craft improved equipment using fabricators. Replicate your bases in new locations with the blueprint system, and then sell blueprints of your architectural wonders to other players. Lead your group to become a guild. On Arrakis, a nameless prisoner can rise. Construct an ornithopter and take to the air. The world is yours to claim.
This is Duneman Keith Filari reminding you to vary your route for return with the full spy slot. My crew found the shortcut we become
The in-game radio provides insight into key events happening across Arrakis. Map the desert. Discover landmarks, wrecked ships, and desert testing stations filled with forgotten technology. Arrakis is a vast planet. You can explore unique locations, uncover valuable resources, and search for secrets amongst the shifting dunes. And then return to civilization triumphant with what you found. Harko Village throngs with people, spice traders, guild bankers, smugglers, house envoys, and of course, other players. Here, you will pledge allegiance to one of the great houses of Dune, the Harkonnen. But remember, to play politics, you need power. And on Arrakis, spice is power. In the deep desert, beyond the shield wall, hundreds of players scour the landscape, hunting for spice. Every spice blow has the potential to become a heated battle, with multiple guilds vying for the precious melange. Even when it looks like defeat is inevitable, those who understand desert power can awaken Arrakis itself.
I really need to watch Dune.
I feel like you can. This is for people who maybe weren't feeling Dune but want to try to get into the lore, because that was a lot, but not in a bad.
Yeah,
and that's the reason why I wanted to show it, because the Dune that's on there right now, if you haven't seen it on Max, give it a shot. You really should. And hey, Kira, what's going on? But definitely should. Now, the reason why I wanted to point out Dune Awakening was the fact that they took a little bit of everything. You took a little bit of Mass Effect, a little bit of Starfield, a little bit of just close quarter combat, but you're also incorporating the world of Dune as we know it. So that when I saw this, that made me want to really watch it. Not only watch, but want to play it. However, it is only going to be on PC for now. Xbox and PlayStation dates will be announced later. But guys, what do we think? Because I'm sold on it. I'm sold on it to the point where I want to play it on PC. But I'm sorry, it's far. What'd you say?
Go ahead. You're fine. But yeah, I'm saying that could be its own game. But the fact that they're incorporating Dune, if they asking a lot of them here, but if Warner Brothers was to market or take care of this correctly, they could farm people into this to then build over to the third into the third film. Because I watched it, but even then, I felt like I just was missing a lot when I saw the second one.
Yeah. But Shadow, what do you think?
It makes you want to go watch Dune. Like both of them. Like watch the original and then come back and watch the reboot. It's been on my list to watch for a long time now. Like out of all the franchises and sci-fi and everything that I've been watching over the years, that's the one I've missed, and I missed it twice. And just watching this game, like hearing the lore and seeing all this stuff, it makes me want to go watch, and then it makes me want to get be invested in actually trying to actually play that. I haven't. I don't do too much like online play like that. I'm a solo run through it by myself, all that stuff kind of guy. But that looked like it would be kind of fun to hop into. I'd say I would definitely give it a try.
And Lady Mandalorian said the new movies are much better than the original movies. I leave that up to the beholder on that one.
Are you saying that because of the CGI and we can do more now, or just because of the better quality?
It'll probably be better quality because the original Dune came out
mid-80s,
I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, from a technological standpoint, yeah, you're gonna have a lot better, clearer quality on that side. I'll give it that. But just saying. But again, those are our picks from Gamescom. There were a lot more out there, including there was a Black Ops 6. There was a First Berserker Kazakhstan. They really didn't show anything new. So again, that's the reason why we didn't show anything. But they are out there for a YouTube video, guys, for you to see. But really quickly, before we get to our comic pool, State of Wrestling. I wanted to bring up two topics with you guys. Let's see. She said, I feel the story is told better and does a better job pulling you in. Fair. That's fair. So two things I did want to cover for State of Wrestling tonight. From the WWE side, the Bloodline. Dude, and I just want to ask this question for all those that do watch wrestling. I know all of us in here do. Has the Bloodline story, because at this point we haven't seen SmackDown. SmackDown has actually ran its course for the night, so we haven't seen exactly what has happened. But going off of what we've known so far about the Bloodline, the fact that Roman Reigns has returned, Solo's kind of rogue Bloodline, and what everybody is hoping for the next SummerSlam, is this a viable storyline moving forward?
Yes, if they play it right. So we're pretty much building up to a true Bloodline Civil War at Survivor Series. I mean, we've had the Bloodline go against all the enemies of Roman Reigns, all that stuff. Cool, fine. Now you have an opportunity to have the new and more ferocious Bloodline go against the original Bloodline. If by do it good and do it right, my thing would be have the original Bloodline win, show their dominance over this new young faction, and dissolve. There does not need to be a Bloodline after that, because Jay and let's say Sammy would only be there, like, not out of spite, but out of like, all right, look, we can't let them run rampant, and that's my brother. I mean, I guess I can help you too, Roman, but like, that's my brother. We had our differences, but that's my brother. And so the 4-on-4, and I feel like if they do it right, storytelling wise, Roman going through everything, like Roman for the first time in 4 years got his ass whooped last week. No one came to help him out. Everyone in the locker room was like, yeah, now you know how it feels, punk. And so I think that playing into the storyline of him opening his eyes to like the stuff that he's dealt with everyone else, after his redemption arc, he gathers the original Bloodline. They have this Civil War. They do a thing. They have an amazing show. Doing something like that, putting those two teams together for a show like that, that's your main event. That's going to be great. Perfect. Cool. After that is over, and you've destroyed this new young Bloodline, the original Bloodline, dissolve it. Everyone goes on their separate ways, does their separate things. If you want to run Jay and Jimmy again for tag teams, fine, cool, but I would rather keep them separate. And at that point, do something new, because the bloodline will be going on that point. I don't think 5 years of the bloodline would be viable. I think just capping it off at this 4-year mark. If my math is right, I feel like that would be the best way to end it. That's just me though. What do you guys think?
Tafari, Joe?
I have been completely out of touch with wrestling, so I get all my news through y'all.
All right, Joe?
I mean, settling it at Survivor Series makes sense. There's some other storylines I want to touch on, like the possible breakup of New Day. We're definitely heading in that direction.
Yeah.
We are definitely getting. What is the next pay-per-view? It's not next month, is it?
It's Berlin. It's Berlin, which is next
Match
Saturday.
in Berlin is 2 weeks from now.
Next Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so that's definitely going to be the KO versus.
That's KO versus Cody.
KO versus
of
Cody.
course, Cody retains, but that's going to kick off KO's heel turn.
Yeah.
So
heel turn is going after LA Knight, one of the two.
Well, I mean,
LA Knight needs a feud with somebody. Since thank God Logan Paul is kind of.
Thank you.
Logan's run now, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, he re-signed his deal, so he can always come back.
Yeah.
I loved what they did with Dominic on his podcast. That was great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that. Look, let me tell you something. In the time that I have been start back watching, and we talked about this on my podcast. Shout out to my podcast, Tease, whatever. I've watched Cody's journey, right? But I've also been able to watch Dominic's journey. Like, I came in right after they lost the tag team titles, but he was still tagging with his dad. Judgment Day was just forming. They were striking against Ray and Dom. And I've been able to be a part of Dom's journey from tag into the Judgment Day group and working on his own from then till now. And Dom is just so much fun to watch. Like, obviously he has nuclear heat. Like, the fact that no one lets him talk, it's great. How you're already a heel and you turn more heel by choosing Liv and everything. Everything that they've been doing with Dom is great. My thing is, I definitely want him to. He has gotten much better in the ring. I'd say put a little bit more effort into it. Maybe put a little bit more muscle on and everything. Dude, you want to go the full route of being your daddy, Mr. Guerrero.
Which they did. Speaking of that podcast, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You did hear that they were going to put him on a pole match or suspend him above the ring in a cage at one point, right?
I'm so hyped for that. But yeah, if they want to do that, lose the shirt. You already got the hair. Lose the mustache and embrace.
No. So even Undertaker in his podcast says the mustache is helping. It's reminding everybody of Eddie.
Well, keep it, lose it, whatever, but lose the shirt definitely, and give us more of that Latina heat, like Persona. You've already got it. Give us more. And I think pairing him up with Liv now more than Rhea, him with Rhea was great. But the story that they're telling now, where if you really look at it, what actually has Rhea done for him outside of maybe help him win the North American Championship? She never helped him beat his dad. They will always either escape or he'd be left by himself to get beat up by somebody else. And Liv has just come in and give this man chicken tendies, PS5, updating the Judgment Day room, helped him learn how to stretch more than one muscle. All the moments that I would have definitely folded while Rhea was out. And then she helped him beat his dad, bro. Like, that's multiple things Liv has done compared to the one thing Rhea has done. He made the right choice.
Well, yeah, but we're also forgetting this is long-term storytelling because
yes,
Liv and Baron said we're gonna break up the Judgment Day, and they're doing it.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say this because this is gonna probably be the most unpopular take of this whole entire podcast. Liv Morgan is being pushed to the point to where her title reign is going to be forever compromised because she is so protected in booking that it's not. I mean, she's not going to resonate as a heel or as a face at this point. She's going to resonate as annoying.
I can kind of see.
And the reason why I say
right now.
No, here's the reason why I say this, because when Rhea was a face, she was over. When Rhea was a heel, she was over. When Charlotte was a face, she was over. When Charlotte was a heel, she was over. When you had Sasha Banks, who I will talk about in AEW because that experiment is failing right now, only because of how she's a lot of things, but she was over. Morgan had one run, got one win over Ripley, and it's just like, you see the amount of things they have to do for her to keep her relevant, while they do very little for Rhea, who can get over on personality alone. So the whole idea that you have to add Dominic to her, the whole idea that you have to add a faction to her, I am just saying, it's a Solo problem. You can give Solo all the Samoan help you can, but if he's not getting over, it's a failed experiment.
Is it?
It is.
How long did it take for us to get Roman Reigns over?
I'm gonna be honest with you about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns was actually over since he left the Shield.
No, it wasn't, because we didn't give him.
I will argue that
we didn't give him a chance because he got pushed on us in matches that he was not meant to be in.
But he got the John Cena treatment.
But he didn't earn the John Cena treatment into the fans. He got the John Cena treatment because he who can't be named.
Well, here's the thing about John Cena. Wasn't the John Cena treatment basically forcing him into almost every major contentious match for a continuous 36 months?
Not entirely.
Did they not do the same thing to Roman?
No, there's a difference between John Cena fighting everybody versus Roman Reigns fighting Brock Lesnar almost every pay-per-view.
But that's also another thing. Brock Lesnar, he's also another plan. That's also another great example of somebody being brought in and immediately pushed. Now, don't get me wrong. Young Brock, when he was destroying and you had Paul Heyman as his advocate, sold. That was even though they were less than 10-minute matches, he was Goldberg level. I will give him that. But he sold it. He sold it to the point to where you had Heyman behind you, you had booking behind you, you had the crowd behind you. Even Funny Brock, when he came back, when he was doing all the antics, the cowboy hat, the boombox, all that crap, he still got over with the crowd. So when you look at Roman, it's like Roman kept getting pushed in because, again, this is at the time of The Undertaker, when everybody didn't like the fact that Roman put The Undertaker down, even though The Undertaker was like, I'm basically giving you the rub. Now, we were still all salty because the ultimate rub was given to Brock Lesnar. He beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania and basically gave him his first loss. That is the ultimate rub. I will argue that in all of pro wrestling.
And it's already been said that he was concussed. He concussed The Undertaker in the first 3 minutes for not being safe, and they had to go home early.
Right.
Was this all under the management of a Mr.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Mr. My Health is Debilitating McMahon. I'm just saying, my health is debilitating. But no,
I wonder why.
But the point I'm getting at with Morgan is, the fact that they have to do so much for her, and I'm just like, she really got over on her own, and she didn't need all of this.
Well, I think the other problem we're forgetting is the brand she's on does not have a lot of high, and I'm not saying this like diminish what the workers there. Mm-hmm. She does not have a lot of high level competition at this point. It's either Rhea Ripley or because Becky Lynch is gone at the moment.
Yeah,
they haven't called up any of the NXT women that does need to be there.
Yep.
Well, they do have Kiana James, but Kiana James. Oh, hi, Lenny. But Kiana James is in. Right, that's what I'm getting at. They called her up, and it's just like you've done nothing with her.
Nope.
They need what am I calling her right now? Female crush?
and who was that?
Wait, who's female crush?
Luna Del Sol, female crush?
Ah, okay, gotcha. I wouldn't be against that, but
again, she is just female crush.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. She is. But that's the point. It is though. It's like yes, the I want to say the peak of your women's division is on SmackDown right now.
Yeah.
But I also want to sit there and say on the Raw side of things, you have, and I hate to say this, like Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. I'm like Zoe Stark should be getting pushed. She really should be getting pushed. Shayna Baszler should have been pushed because of her dominant run in NXT. But again, she's been associated to a Ronda Rousey who's kind of hiding under a rock right now, just because of her comments.
I was going to ask, I haven't seen that name in a minute. She just done with the world?
So she is done with the world because she did an AMA, and every question was about her being a Sadie Hook non-believer.
Yeah. And yeah,
every question.
She sat there and said the whole thing was a hoax, and I'm like, she tried to come back now and saying that was a dumb decision. I should never done it, but the damage has been done. So
absolutely, goodbye.
Yeah. My favorite question is: when you return, are you going under the name Sadie Hook?
Damn. But what I'm getting at though is like, yes, the women's division does need to be pushed because again, there is tremendous talent in NXT that needs to be called up, but I don't know. I'll put it this way. I understand that Triple H is head of creative. I understand that he has people under him. I understand that there are producers at Raw and SmackDown making decisions. But I kind of feel like with women's wrestling, it is starting to backpedal a little bit back to the Diva era, where you're not getting those matches. Like what the last time we had a 60-minute Iron Woman match was that what Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks for 60 minutes, and it opened Raw. When's the last time we seen something like that? Of course, you go to SmackDown, you see Jade Cargill, you see Naomi, you see Bianca Belair, and you see others that are also headlining. But at the same time, yeah, the women's wrestling is looking like it's starting to take more of a back step, and I'm hoping that's not the case.
On the main roster. NXT kind of has the best women's division in WWE right now.
They always have, though, for a while.
Like, and Sean knows how to push them.
Yeah. You're 100% right. It is. I mean, if you're looking at all divisions, NXT does have the best women's division right now. I just hope that, the thing about it is, anytime they go from NXT, it's always been that are they going to flounder? Are they going to flourish? Are they going to go to the backside? And I said more women wrestlers going from NXT than men because Braun Breaker, bona fide stud. We knew where he was going. Ethan
he's
Page,
a Steiner. He can only go one way.
Well,
right to the
I'm saying, I mean, even though he's a Steiner, the dude can go. And the fact that he doesn't really depend on the Steiner. He doesn't depend on the Steiner recliner or the Steiner Frankensteiner. He's kind of doing his own thing, but he flourished. Even the Four Horsewomen, every one of them, they flourished. So
we'll get to that in a moment.
Well, we only got so much time, Joe. Who did it? Who are you talking about?
No, boy.
What's she going by these days over in AEW?
Oh, Mercedes Moné.
That's what we call her. I call her Miss Botchalot.
Oh my god! I guess that's a good segue, right?
That's a good segue. That's a good segue to go to AEW. So that's a good.
I was going to say the only other thing we can add is, honest to God, I think we're going to have our first company champion because I think Joe Hendry's going to get that title.
Oh yeah, he should.
Give it to him. Give him at least 2 matches and give it back to Trick. You shouldn't even take him for a trip.
That's a whole other. You know what?
Yeah.
When we come up with another podcast, we will explain why they dropped the ball on him. But let me get into AEW so we can get into our comic polls. So AEW All In London is happening this Sunday. Just a quick rundown of the count of the actual card. We do have Toni Storm versus Mariah May for the AEW Women's Championship. Toni Storm is defending. Mariah May, it looks like it's poised to where Mariah may actually win. Toni Storm has done great, has had a great run with the title. In my opinion, I'm just going to throw this around really quickly. If you're booking it, who would you have win?
I mean,
I'm not going to win that.
I mean, okay, so look, I don't watch AEW, but I know Toni Storm is thicker than a Snicker, so I'm going to just say Toni Storm. That's me.
Joe?
Give it to the not Toni Storm person. I don't watch a lot of AEW anymore.
I'm with that, Mariah May. Toni Storm has had the belt for a very long time, and it started to get stale. She actually defended her belt against Saraya on Dynamite, which made no sense to defend your belt for a pay-per-view. But I digress. So I think I would book as Mariah May winning. Now, to get to the heart of the matter, the TBS Championship, current champion Mercedes Moné will be facing Britt Baker for the TBS Championship. Or as Joe called her, Miss Botchalot. Who would you book to win? There wasn't my point of Joe.
I'm either one.
Again, I don't watch AEW that much since people have been leaving the company again.
I never see everybody point to Joe like, Joe?
Full house tonight. It's nice. Whole cast is here.
Everybody pointed Joe.
So, again, I don't watch. I'm not entirely sure. I thought she would go there and do good things, but I mean, I don't hear a lot of go there and do good things from AEW. I mean, hell, Edge left, had a I guess decent-ish run with Christian, and now you're sitting there with a broken ankle, leg, foot, whatever.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. The Mercedes Moné experiment is not working. It isn't. She came in, she took the title off of Willow Nightingale, who was CBS champion. They even gave her an enforcer. Her mic skills, they just don't seem to translate very well. But her wrestling, like Joe said, it's cringy sometimes because the moves aren't as crisp, and at the same time, there is a lot of error on this part. The problem is with Mercedes Moné, I think that she's going to wind up. I think they're going to feed Baker to her to submit her title run. So they're probably going to have her. They're probably going to have Moné booked to win and retain the TBS Championship title.
I think the other thing that I was kind of saying about the Four Horsewomen thing earlier is this really does show how much WWE had to cover for her and had to protect her to ensure that she was one of the Four Horsewomen, because Becky definitely a stronger background. Becky definitely had the strongest background.
Fair.
Because I just got done with her biography. That woman's been wrestling since she was 16 because she lied to get into wrestling school.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you knew Charlotte was going to be decent. You knew Bayley was going to be decent just from all the work she constantly puts in.
Yeah.
But it just continuously shows when you're not as, and I don't think that they're not tight knit, but I think they work a little bit looser where it shows more of her weaknesses.
No, it's fair. I just think that if she's gonna flourish, if she's gonna make it AEW, it just has to be something different. AEW American Championship, MJF versus Will Ospreay. Should be a banger. I love MJF because he reminds me of old school. He reminds me of old school booking in a new age. Will Ospreay, amazing athlete. I love the fact that he is not scared to do a lot of aerial moves. And also, he's an Assassin's Creed fan, which is always a plus. If I was booking it, I would say Will Ospreay, but more than likely because AEW is investing heavily in MJF, they'll probably have him booked to win and keep the title. But thoughts on that?
Will Ospreay is only as good as his opponent because if you give him a crap opponent, he does not work well. But you give him someone like Kota Ibushi, where they had that banger match at G1 Climax that one time.
Yeah.
Which is still a meme to this day with the camera looking back. That man really shines. MJF, they have to invest heavily in him because it's not that I don't see loyalty with him, is I think he is going to go wherever he will be the biggest.
Yeah.
And the moment he stops being the biggest in AEW, he's going to jump ship.
Yeah, but AEW is invested in him heavily.
They don't have a choice because I think Dean's not there at the moment, and Cesaro's not there at the moment, and I think Daniel Bryan got hurt because Daniel Bryan still continues to wrestle and work incredibly recklessly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what anybody says. I love Daniel Bryan, but Miz was absolutely correct in that shoot interview they had that one time.
Oh, the one that cemented Miz? The one that cemented
where Miz just flat out tells but I'm safe and I'll be doing this in my 50s and you'll be in a wheelchair by your mid-30s.
And it's funny that you bring up Bryan Danielson. Of course, Daniel Bryan, when he was in WWE, he's actually
he is in the thing. I thought that was Mordecai Black.
No. He's going to be facing Swerve Strickland for the world title. So it's title versus career. I think this is where this is going to be his swan song because Swerve Strickland is on a roll right now, and I love the fact that he is on a roll. I don't see Danielson getting booked to win. I see Strickland beating him, and then Danielson gets his whole send off into the sun thing. But yeah, that should be a good match anyway. But
I legit thought that was Mordecai Black, not Daniel Bryan.
Also another guy I didn't think about, Jack Perry, of course, with the scapegoat thing, because he's gonna have the TNT championship and he's facing Darby Allin in a coffin match, which again, if you don't know what a coffin match is, ladies and gentlemen, it's basically just taking your opponent into a coffin and slamming it shut. Shout out to Undertaker for doing it first.
Yes, sir.
Question, because I am not up on this. Is Darby Allin able to stay on his own without Sting in his corner these days?
Yes,
because
they
just
are
kind of standing in the mid card because
they're really booking him toward the upper card now because it's kind of going back to where he was because when he was with Sting, it was kind of a mid card situation, but now because he's kind of on his own again, you see him being booked more toward the main event, high profile matches, and in this case because of the match he had with Jack Perry on Blood and Guts. This is just the rubber match from it. So if I had to book it, I would say because it's a coffin match and because Jack Perry is with the Elite, they may book it to where he keeps the title and Darby Allin may be written off television for a while, just because the man is always doing something crazy. Also, the All-In Casino Gauntlet match, pretty much a free-for-all. Anybody can join. The only two things I wanted to bring up about this is that two people from WWE have now traveled over to London. Bobby Lashley and Ricochet. We found out earlier that Ricochet did sign a multi-year deal with AEW, and he's currently headed to London right now. Does this mean that also MVP is in London? So you have MVP, you have Bobby Lashley, you have Ricochet. I'm not saying it. I'm hoping for a Hurt Business-like faction to appear in AEW. It's highly needed. Will it happen at the Casino Gauntlet match? Don't know, but looking forward to watching it. Because the Hurt Business was a great faction in WWE until they decided not to back it. Take it how you will. MVP is saying that, creative just didn't believe in them or, things that
Vince didn't believe in them.
Yeah. That's kind of what he insinuated, but he didn't say with 100%, but he did kind of insinuate that. But we'll leave it at that. In the pre-show, Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii will be facing Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway. Should be a squash match because if you don't know who Tomohiro Ishii is, the bulldog of New Japan Wrestling, let's just say it should be a short match. That's all I'm going to say about that one. The other one, the triple threat match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship between FTR, the Young Bucks, and the Acclaimed. Should be a good one. Young Bucks are still holding the titles. They're still being the elite. Acclaimed, I actually like them. Will Max Caster get his Hot 16 in? Maybe because it's uncensored. FTR has been a great tag team champion, kind of similar to the Dudley Boys as far as title reigns go. It could go either way as far as booking on that.
But the Young Bucks are going to keep their titles because they're too narcissistic, and I don't like them.
Well, I mean, they are doing the heel thing, and it is working for them. I agree. I do agree with you on that, though.
I see it as this: if you're owner of the company, you can't wrestle.
True. You shouldn't be able to if you're EVPs, which is still weird. But hey, Kenny Omega has been quiet for a couple of this whole entire time. I kind of expect him to pop up, which would be actually cool. But the last match, of course, this is the last of the card for the AEW Trios titles. You have Christian Cage and the Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang versus the House of Black versus a unknown trios group that won't be announced until Sunday. I kind of miss the fact that House of Black used to be trio champions because I did like the House of Black rules. Christian Cage is in his villain era right now, and you can tell because he has on a turtleneck with no sleeves. So if that doesn't say villain to you, nothing does. The Bang Bang Gang kind of has downgraded because this is the same guys that used to be a part of Bullet Club back in New Japan and really haven't done a lot since. So if I was booking it, I'd give it back to the House of Black. But what do you guys think?
This is where the Hurt Locker or Hurt Inc. whatever comes into play.
They can't call it the Hurt Business. They can't call it the Hurt Business because it's trademarked. But you know what? That would be perfect. A three-man group going into a trios tag match. That's freaking perfect for MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Ricochet to show up.
Called Pain Incorporated.
Ooh. I really want to look that up.
Pain Inc.
I kind of want to look and see if that's already trademarked because if it is, that's a dead giveaway. But that's pretty much the card for AEW. And again, that's the state of wrestling that we have so far. We will go more into it with WWE, AEW, and TNA because TNA has been making a lot of noise outside of just Joe Hendry because Joe Hendry invented himself and really got himself over. And you've heard his name, and I wish I could say he appears on this podcast, but unfortunately, we're not that far along yet. Say what?
I'm just a stand-in. Like a seat holder.
Not Joe Hendry, Joe. Joe Hendry. Although it will be interesting if we do get him on this podcast and you're here, and that's going to be so weird. Say his name and he appears.
No, we just have to say his name. We black out mine and put him in. I just turn around real quick, and then it just turns back around, and it's the other guy.
Ooh, that will be interesting. But
oh my goodness!
But yeah, we will definitely get more. We'll definitely get more into state of wrestling next week, guys. But we do need to go ahead and get.
I was going to say, did we cover the cancellation already? Or are we saving that for next week?
Save that for next week. Okay. We'll save it. We'll save that for next. We'll save that one for next week because that's right now the incels are having their victory run, and I'm just gonna leave that one.
I'll touch on it real quick. And we can go into more in depth next week. I don't mind that it got canceled because I felt the series was kind of mid because of the pacing issues and the ending that just kind of came out of left field.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I plan on it. But
I feel sad that it ended, that it got canceled because, we lost good Asian and Black representation in Star Wars yet again.
It should have went longer. It really should have. It could have went longer because I'm sorry. If Halo could get a season 2, that could have got a season 2. and Halo screwed the pooch royally on season 2. But before we get to our comic pool, guys, we do want to give a shout out to Rick's Comic City. If you're in the Tennessee area, definitely check them out. They have been Nashville's #1 go-to place for comics, for mangas, collectibles, things of that nature for going on almost 7 years now. They have 2 locations, Nashville, Tennessee, and Clarksville, Tennessee. Definitely check them out. Also, check out rickscomiccity.com, and where you can do the same things online, including order pulls, trade covers, that thing, and that. Those things, well, all the above, I should say. So you can definitely do that. Also, let them know the guys at Get Bit sent you. It doesn't get you any discounts, but you see our mugs on their televisions. They show us love, so we want to show them love. Also, guys, if you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. They are the last places to where you can get experience. I get it. Barnes & Noble is cool. Starbucks is cool. Places to where you can get coffee anywhere else is cool. But going to a comic book store or going to a library is an experience. There are things there that you can sit there and talk about, can do, meet others, get other advice, and even invite somebody to actually see what's so fun about going to a comic book store or going to a local library. And kids, I cannot stress this enough. Most libraries have a banned book section. Please read it. You will be surprised about the stuff that they don't want you to know that you should know. Because again, expand your mind, expand your horizons, read the banned books. So again, guys, if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely check out Rick's Comic City. If you are not, support your local libraries, support your local comic book stores. You will miss them when they are gone. Joe, I do see you got the comic books up, sir. So wrapping this up, guys, we do want to thank everybody that commented, liked, watched, shared. We certainly appreciate that. And I usually go random with this one. So, Tafari, you want to let people know what you're doing, sir?
So I am currently in the middle of doing a weekly rewatch of X-Men Evolution because 97 is taking too long for season 2, and I need my Wednesday. That has surprisingly gotten a lot more traction than I expected. I also did a skit about 20v1 videos because those are also getting hell of annoying. On the Blurred's Eye page, officially all of our DreamCon interviews are out. So we have Chase Conley, who worked at X-Men 97. We have Kev on Stage, who did his first convention and first press conference and got to do his first cosplay and everything, and that was pretty cool. We have, who else did we talk to? We had Kev, we had Chase. Cleo Thomas dropped today, and that was another one we got to do. Talked about his new film Vigilante, new horror movie he just booked. I know I am blanking on another name, and it is staring me right in the face. Najee Jeter. We spoke to Najee Jeter, who plays Miles Morales in the Spider-Man Insomniac games. That was also a cool conversation. Next to it, we have are coming from BlurredCon. So we got to sit with Phil Lamar and Atando Akane, who plays young King T'Chaka in What If and the Black Panther film. So those all premiere on Fridays. We do like a live chat premiere during. Subscribe to me. Check out Blurred's Eye View in the podcast channel. It's a lot of fun. Got a real fun talking to these people, chance to meet and greet and all that, and pick their brains for a little bit.
Cool. Shadow, you want to let people know what you're doing, sir?
I stand ready to fight. No, dude, I am. So I mentioned it earlier. I'm currently working on my storytelling channel, Shadowverse Comics. October is basically Dragon Ball month with Daima coming out and with Sparking Zero coming out. So my goal is to drop at least 4 Dragon Ball What Ifs. I am currently working on them right now. I've got a couple of these like arts that I've made and everything. That's my current project. Of course, I'm always working on my 18 and up brand, Shadow After Dark, taking pictures at conventions for Shadow Creatives. It's right here. You can see that. And yeah, I have a new schedule. I have time to do things now. So now I'm going to maximize that time to actually do all the things.
All right. Joe, well, if you know what you're doing, sir.
I'm doing stuff.
I would hope so.
Oh, right. We got Ultraman things happening.
Which Ultraman watches?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm watching a lot of Ultraman right now. I just got Ultraman Max in the mail.
Oh, nice.
The series is hilarious. because they had to course correct from the previous series, which was very dark.
Nice.
No, Tafari and I are watching Ultraman Arc, which is the current series. We skipped this week because Clip Show. New episode comes out tonight, so we'll be doing that next week. Maybe we'll drag Shadow into that one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how timetables work. Other than that, I've just been playing a lot of Monster Hunter and a lot of Alien Dark Descent. That's a very hard game. Or Alien Isolation. That's a very scary game.
Nope, I'm not playing that. I refuse to play
why.
a game where I can't fight back. I refuse to play a game where I cannot fight back. I'm not good at hiding in stealth games. I want to be able to fight the alien, or at least have a fighting chance of fighting the alien. But that's just me.
You're not a Colonial Marine in that game. They even take your stuff away. You can kill face huggers, and that's about it.
I'm good. I'm good. I'll stick with Fire Team.
Alien Romulus, still fantastic movie, even though the third act is super weird. I recommend everybody go see it. I recommend everybody please go vote. Oh my God, please guys go vote. There are now voting initiatives out in Tennessee to help get everybody registered to vote. Please go vote. I cannot say it enough.
Yeah, can't argue that. Also, vote.org can help you out as well. But all right, so I guess I'm up. But before I do get to me, guys, some shameless plugging as I usually want to do. I do want to shout out first BlurredStation.com. We have been talking about Blurred Station now for going on a couple months. It is the table, the building, the vehicle that we've all asked for our content to be shown and streamed the same way Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime do it. You can definitely check out BlurredStation.com, and if you do want to join, hit the Join Now button. Select the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership. You can select any member there, myself, Black Spartan, or Tafari, or Tafari TV, or anybody else there. We would certainly appreciate it. It is $10.99 a month. $10.99 a month to basically watch and stream Blurred Station. And again, after 36 months, guys, you do have the opportunity to own a piece of Blurred Station. And again, this is the vehicle that is different from Tubi because because the content is owned by us. And if you are a content creator and want your content to be shown on Blurred Station, you first must join Blurred Station as a member. That'll allow you to speak to people behind the curtain. If everything works out, then your content can also be shown on Blurred Station. Content that you own, and yet Blurred Station just wants a piece of distribution. Not a bad deal at all. But definitely check out BlurredStation.com because trust me, it is only going to get bigger. That's what she said. Besides me, guys, you can find me, Black Spartan, or I should say Black _ Spartan 615 on the interwebs, on the socials. I usually do reviews on everything and gym stuff and also baby stuff because, yes, my baby daughter, my baby girl Zuri was born just last, a week and a half ago. And yet I am being that type of father. I am posting my child every second I get, and I make no apologies for it. At the same time, a very social person. Just don't be weird. That's all I ask. Don't be weird. I do not want to have this blocking. I don't know, all the weird comments, things of that nature. Just don't. Be normal. You'll be fine. At the same time, guys, our podcast can be seen wherever podcasts can be found or heard. Also, always record TV, APR TV on all apps, including Roku, where you can see all shows, including this one there as well. And at the same time, guys, again, like, share, and follow. Like the good Reverend Navy Montel says, a like, a share, and follow costs nothing, but means everything. At the same time, guys, definitely check out Tafari at Tafari TV because con season is still going on. He has wonderful videos on how to prepare for a con, how to act at a con, and also post-con activities. Highly recommend you watch these videos because they will definitely help you out. But that being said, I do have a couple rules for myself. Number one, respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplaying is for everybody. Cosplay is not consent. What I mean by that is, guys, treat them like human beings. Yes, it takes a lot to dress up in your favorite cosplay and also to go out in front of a crowd, in front of people, and still, not be judged or not be seen as eye candy or not be groped or, God forbid, the other darker stories you've been hearing out of these cons. Simply put, treat them like individuals or treat them the way you want to be treated. It's just that simple. Also, Cosplay is for everybody. Regardless of your height, weight, preferences, or choices, you can cosplay as anything that you want to be. The only thing you shouldn't do is blackface. Don't want your ass kicked at a con? Don't do blackface. That freaking simple. Number 2, hygiene is important. Please wash your ass. Please brush your teeth. Please use mouthwash. Please wear clean clothes. There is next to nothing in room at these cons. And again, if you have a musk or a smell and it comes in before you, please do something about it before you come to a con. And also, native deodorant doesn't work. Just saying. And number 3 is the same rule that I have for myself as I have for everybody else. These cons, be nice, be kind, talk and share your fandoms. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. But as we're wrapping this up, guys, again, we want to thank everybody that's watching, that's liking this. We cannot thank you guys enough. We will hopefully be back here same time next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel, as we do cover the news and as well as talking about that elephant in the room that did not get a season 2 and our state of wrestling and our comic polls. But as we're wrapping this up, guys, any last words we call tonight?
The kids got school.
Whoa!
That went, the spectrum on that just went from this end to Cody Rhodes. I did not see that coming. That being said, guys, again, share fandoms. Don't be toxic gatekeepers. Don't dislike people because their tastes are different than you. Be open, be mindful, be nice, be kind. It is that effing simple. And also, go vote. This has been the Give It Podcast, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please take care of yourselves and each other. We'll get through this. Please stay hydrated. We don't need people falling out. Peace.
Later.